Welcome to Brain Thing Bones. So bring your awareness into your feet. Spread through the soles and the toes. And have a sense of a triangle. Wide through the toes, the sole, and tapering back to the heel bone. And here we rock. Rocking through the bones. Transferring the body's weight down through the spine, pelvic bones, legs, into the feet and the earth. I'm now going to shift the weight into the left foot. Lift up the right heel and just see if you can roll over onto your toes and back. So they're still connected. I'll just angle a little bit, that helps. You just roll over and back. And we'll change to the other side, shifting the weight, land with that. Feel how the bones support you. And then it's the other foot, rolling over on the toes and back. Returning to the weight distributed through both feet. Then playing with lifting one heel and then the other. So you have that shift of weight from one side, the other. From here, soften the knees, take an in-breath, gather up the energy of the earth up through your bones. And then pressing your energy back into the earth on the out breath. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. One more time. In breath and out breath. We're taking the hands now behind us in a prayer position. The fingers could be down, that might be more comfortable, or they could be up. So they're behind. We're going to shift the weight into the balls and the toes. Let the heels come up and back down. So a few of these. So the bones, the densest tissue in the body, designed to take our body weight. I'm going to release momentarily, and then I'm turning to the side. We have a flow here, or a sense of bones. And we're going to bring those hands again. So the fingers either pointed down or up to the back. From here, we are bending the knees deeper than usual into the chair. It might be that you can also lift the heels. And landing the heels. Taking the left leg back just as far as is comfortable for you. Let the legs lengthen. And we're arcing up and back. Then we're releasing the arms, bending the front leg. The arms come up. We turn that back leg. So we take a bend into it. You can either put the hands down now to help you lower, or you can bring that knee right down. Then the hands come down. We're going to take the right arm and reach it up. You can stay here, or you can take up the back knee and have a deeper twist. Whichever one you're in, the hand that's up comes down. The back leg is coming in. And we're just resting on the ball of the foot so the heel is up. You could stay here. You could bend the leg. You could even, if it's in your practice, to lengthen up. Then that's going to find its way back down, rolling up. We're going to flow again. I'll change sides. So, hands behind, fingers down or up. Finding your chair. Possibly even lifting the heels. That's coming back. It's the right leg will come back this time. We have the legs lengthening and we are arcing. We release the arms, bend the front leg. The arms come up. We just turn so we face that front knee. The back leg starts to bend. We have a pause. Then we take it right down, but we might need to bring our hands down to the floor to help us. We come down. The right arm then lands. You have the other one up. We will twist. Possibly the back leg is coming up. We find our way out of this. Bringing the back leg in, resting on the ball of the foot. Either staying here or bending, possibly even extending. This then comes down and we find a roll back up. So the bones are very dense. They can make a sound. We're going to tap the forehead, the chin, the breastbone, the hip bones. the kneecaps. Down the shins. Coming to the outside of the ankle bones. And then the insides. Feel and hear the bones. Then clasping the elbows, just relax in a forward fold. You might possibly be able to hold the elbows at the back. The legs may be bent or lengthened. Then we release the arms. Bend the knees. Find a way of rolling back up. Hands to the pelvis. Soften through the knees and some figure of eights, leading with the hip bones. And try that in the other direction. From here, we're going to have a sense of the tailbone, and just let the tailbone pull us back and forwards. So see how it changes the curve in the lumbar region. When it's far back, there's a big curve. Become neutral when there's a smaller curve, and then as we come forwards, it flattens it out. Let that settle. Come now to a wider stance. From here, we bend the knees. Lengthen. A few times. Feeling how the bones move at the joints. Then the left heel lifts, the left arm comes over. Circles round, it brings with it the other arm. Heel comes down. We turn into warrior two. We have an extension over that front leg. We come back over the back leg, keeping the front bent, and cradle. So we have an extension over and a cradle back. Extension over and a cradle back. From here, we're going to turn forward fold either to the knees, to the shins. If you can reach the floor, you might then want to take the legs wider, bring the crown and the elbows down. We push out. If you have wide-ish legs, bring them in. We come back to shins. Roll back up. Turn the feet out. Hands to the pelvis. Bending. We have the right heel that lifts. Leg is bending. We are then arcing towards it with the left arm. And come down. I'm going to bring the other arm. That comes over too. The foot comes down. We turn into warrior two. We extend. We cradle. We turn. Kneecaps, chins, possibly the floor. If you're connected to the floor, you might widen legs and bring head and elbows towards the earth. We come back in. Bring the legs in if you're wide. Even if you're not too wide, start to bring them in. We're coming into quite a wide parallel position. I'm going to try and come down and have a little squat here, a little rock. Then push from here, roll back up. Into your neutral standing position. Just notice how it feels compared to when we first started. I'm going to adjust my camera and then we're going to come back down into the squat. So if you need to adjust your cameras, do that too, but you shouldn't need to as you're following a video. But if you need a drink like me, please have one. So you've gone from your standing now, and you're coming back down into the squat. Have a rock here. Some of you might be able to take the feet down and bend at the elbows with the prayer hands. I'm going to release out of this onto hands and knees. And like we did at the very beginning, we're shifting the weight forwards and back. And feel it dropping through the arm, hand, lower leg, feet bones. Shift the weight. Then we're curling the toes under, releasing. Feel all those little bones in the toes. Then we'll let the toes come off, give them a little wiggle jiggle. Then the knees are coming back. We're coming into the lower arm support. From here, curl the toes under again and let one knee come up and down and then the other. take a pause. You can either repeat that, or if it's available for you, you can come into the plank position, and this time you're just letting one knee lower and then the other. You can probably feel how you need the power of the bones to support you. The muscles are moving you, but the weight's dropping through the bones. Then we find a way out of whichever movement we were doing. Have a little rock forwards and backwards again. And then we're coming to take the weight into the arms. Back into a high child with the toes curled under, keeping the arms forwards. Downward facing dog. Coming back down. Hands to the right so that the left leg can come through. From here, we find our low warrior one. Come back. The front foot turns out, comes out to the edge of the mat. We circle the leg out a few times. And we come back up. The pelvis is coming between, and if it's possible, we lift the heel and take the arms up again. Come back down. Bring this leg back. And I will change. Ready for the other side. So we reach the arms forwards. The weight drops down through the bones. We come back, toes curl under, lengthen. Downward dog. Coming back. The hands this time to the left so that the right leg can come through. And then we bring that weight forwards a little bit, reach up through the arms. I'm trying to keep the knee in line with the ankle. We come back. This front leg, we turn it out to the edge of the mat. We circle. And then we come back up. It comes between the two knees. Up, and if possible, lifting the heel. Then we bring the hands back down. The leg comes back. The hands are wider now. We bring the crown down. And if you move through the pelvis, it will massage the top of the head. And just feel the firmness of the bone here, protecting the brain. So bone not only taking the weight of the body because it's of its strength, but also acts as protection for organs in the body. We push the hands, we come into a high child, the toes are curled under. We bring the forehead down this time, and we use the pelvis to rock us onto the crown and then pull back to the forehead. We take a pause. Next time we're on the forehead. And then we push through the hands. And we have another flow. So with the right leg, we're bending it up. So you can choose now whether you bring it down and change your arms or whether you keep it up and change your arms. So if it's up, you're lowering so you can come into that lower arm support. Again, you might need to lower the leg in order to do this and bring the leg back up. This leg then comes down. We push into a downward dog. And we're taking that left leg now. It might be off a little bit. You might come back to that bend we did earlier. You might be able to lengthen up. If it's then possible, see if you can lift the heel off of the support foot. It comes down and this leg is going to come down. You either land it on the floor and rearrange, or you bring it forwards. So you're finding your way into your pigeon. Take the time you need. Once you're here, we're going to bend the leg and circle the foot. Change the direction of the circling. You might even be able to bring the opposite hand to the ankle. It might not be possible, then you can just bring it behind or not. We come out of this. We're going to take the left arm, scoop it through either to the elbow or the shoulder. The top arm lengthens. So you're making the hands of a clock. And then we come back in. Before we do the other side, we're going to bring the toes together, take the knees out wide. I think it might, I think that one will work. We'll take that back possibly to the heels. If that's not comfortable, then you can still do it with the toes curled under, bringing the heels towards each other. So you find your organization. We're coming into a wide child. And if it's available, we're going to find the prayer hands on top of the back of the head. We'll find our way out of this. I'm turning, ready for the other side of the flow. And we have that tiger. You either bring the knee down and then rearrange your arms, or you keep the leg up and lower the arms. If you've brought the leg down, you can now bring it back up. And then that leg comes down into the downward facing dog. That's now this left leg is going to come up. Possibly the lower foot, you can raise the heel, that might not be available. Then you're either coming back into downward dog and changing, or you're swinging this upper leg through into the pigeon. See what suits you. And here we bend the leg and circle the foot. Circle the other way. Opposite hand back. You might just rest it. You might find that you can take hold. And then you release out of this. Come down onto the front. Rest the forehead. And here, just licking the teeth. So this is where there is exposed bone in your body. You can feel bone. We let that go. Come to the toes and let them curl under and release, feeling all those different little bones. Let that settle. Then we bend the legs. And we're going to kind of scissors them so that you can feel that the kneecaps moving. From here, we let these legs just move in a random way, which will also connect you into the kneecaps. Gently lower. We're bringing the hands now down to the projecting hip bones. Let them drop into your hands. We draw in abdominals, gluteus muscles. We lift up the breastbone, the elbows, lower down. Then we lengthen and raise one of our legs, lower. The same with the other leg, lower. Back to the upper body, drawing everything in around the core, lifting up and down, lengthening a leg, raising, lowering, lengthening a leg, raising and lowering. From here into our Sphinx or low cobra position. See how far you can lift the elbows off, start to lengthen the arms. As soon as you have too much compression in the lower back bones, then just come out of that. Feel all the way down to your toe tips, possibly even curling them under, taking the kneecaps off, and that will soften out. So resting a cheek on your hands, and here just starting to press the bones of this side of the face into your hands. And then change by turning, and you're pressing the bones of the other side of the face. Let that settle. And then we're going to find our way up, our own individual way, and slowly readjust for sitting. So we're starting with lengthened legs. So in the traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys govern the bones. So we're going to have a rub to the kidneys. Feel that postural support. And then tapping forehead, chin, breastbone, hip bones, kneecaps, shins, all the way to the inside of the ankles, the outside. So basically there are two bones here that make the ankle that joins to the foot. So from here, just bringing yourself back up. And we'll come into a flow. The legs are bent. The arms are behind. We're going to push to the hands and the feet. We're going to really reach through the torso. We have the kidneys supporting us at the back. You can either stay here, lift the pelvis a little, or come up to the reverse table. And then we land to balance on the sitting bones. Here we take hold, either the legs parallel or together. We come into a boat. We bend back down. We're going to let the left leg lengthen and the right, you can either place on the shin or above the knee, whichever one you've chosen. We're going to twist towards it, Very gently place a hand. If it's comfortable, you could press. And you have a rotation here. We come back. We let this bent leg lengthen. We're going to lift up here. We're pushing down through the sitting bones, lacing the fingers, pushing up, letting this reach us forwards. We're then going to squeeze the shin bones very close to the surface. When we come up to the kneecaps, we're going to give them a bit of a circle here. Then we come back to a more vertical position. Relax the arms down, circle the shoulders back. Then we see if we can lace the fingers, possibly even extend. We release and we start again. So we have a push down, a lift up, possibly a lift of the pelvis off, a little or a lot. We then land it down onto the sitting bones. We take a support underneath the back of the legs. The legs could be together, they could be apart. Whichever one you choose, come to lengthen up in some way. Then that comes down. The right leg lengthens. The left leg, either on the shin or above the knee. Lift up. We're going to turn towards the knee. Very lightly touch. If you have flexibility and it's comfortable, then you could gently push it in the twist. We come back. We release. We come to lace the fingers, reach up. We're pushing up to the sky with the hands, down to the earth through the sit bones. We then hinge. Keeping that hand clasp if it's comfortable. If it's not, then come out of it. From here, we press or squeeze the shin bones. When we get to the kneecaps, we have a circle here. Feel them moving. And then the arms down by the sides. Circling the shoulders back a few times. Lacing fingers, letting them reach back. Releasing. So coming now to a wide leg position. Let the feet move in any way they want to. Have a sense of the bones there, heel bone, toes. As you move the feet, you might notice that the heel bone has a little massage. Then either hands on the legs or on the floor. We're going to take a fold and just feel your way through your spinal bones. Only come down as far, so whether your arms have reached out in front or on the legs, just as far as is comfortable for you. And then we come back. We're bending the leg. The left leg is in front. So they might be quite high. You might find they drop down. Some people might be able to get the left foot onto the other calf. Some people might get the foot into the groin. So you choose the one that's right for you. Then we are rotating to the left side, just gently with the hand, unless you know that you can take some pressure and twist. We come back in. Hands to where the legs meet the hips. Taken in breath. Imagine the abdominals, pelvic floor drawing in. You might be able to actually do that. And then on out breath, release. In breath, drawing in. Out breath, releasing. In breath, drawing in. Out breath, releasing. Okay. We release there. It'll be the other side. So it's the right in front, whether you're here, whether the foot is to the calf or whether it slots up. We're now going to turn the other way. Again, just like here, unless you know that it can take some pressure. We come back, hands where the legs meet the hips. In breath, sucking in the abdominals, the pelvic floor, even if it's imaginary. Out breath, let go. In breath, out breath. In breath. And out breath. We are going to come out of this leg configuration. We keep the legs bent but wide-ish, hands behind. So we're going to take a bend to the left, right, left, right. Then we're coming back to the left side, but we're reorganizing. We're either coming in quite close, we're either coming a kind of 90 degree angle, or we have one leg bent and the other leg straight. So it's whichever's comfortable for you. I'll do the middle range. So from here, we're going to arc back towards the feet, but the lower hand is going to take the upper wrist and deepen it. We release. We're going to twist to the other knee. The back arm is coming behind. It either rests somewhere there. It might come into where the leg meets the hip. But we're still trying to keep this hip down. We're then going to twist the other way. Again, the back arm can find its place at the back or onto the leg. We release out of here. We have left hand down. Again, if you want to extend this leg, you can. We are finding our reach up. We bring it down. And we have a fold over the front leg. So it might not be very far because we're trying to keep this hip down. But you might find you can come lower. So the deer. We find our way out of this and come back to these twists. So this time to the right. Finding your configuration close, 90-90 or lengthened. We then arc it over. The lower hand takes the wrist and we draw it. We then come into a rotation, the back arm, finding some kind of connection. Twisting the other way. Releasing. Possibly reaching with or without a lift. We come back and we find our deer. We slide out of this. I'm going to find our way onto the back. We're going to lace the fingers. We're going to really reach them back. A few spinal twists, one way, then the other way. And we come back, hands to the hip bones, the legs up, and we're just tapping the toes. Then we're coming into a cycling with a flexed foot. It comes out of the flex when it comes down, but you're flexing it as though you're pushing onto a pedal. Then we go the other way. This helps you to feel the ends of the bones and the joints, hips, knees, ankles. Then we gently bring the feet, well, the left foot down. The right foot just resting somewhere it's comfortable there. I'm going to take the arms out and we're letting this top leg, the right leg is going to move us to the left. And see if you can bring the foot flat down. And release the bottom leg, the top leg will come back and we'll find it on the other side. So this time, it's the left foot, it's going to come up. And we're coming to the right. You might find that the foot goes on the floor, you might find it stays on the leg. We release. Bent legs again. From here, we're pushing through the feet. We're bringing the arms down by the sides. We're going to push through the shoulders and the head as well. We're lacing the fingers and really lifting the arms up and under the shoulders. Then raise one heel, lower, raise the other heel, lower, repeat. Gently roll down, release the arms from underneath you. And we're going to go again. So we're pushing down, rising up, lacing the fingers, trying to lift up a bit more through the shoulders. You can either lift the heels like you did before, or you could try lengthening. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And come down, arms back to the wide position, feet out to the sides of the mat, and some more spinal twists. So we've done this one in sitting. And then we're going to take both knees over onto your side. We'll give the kidney on this side a rub. Then the top leg, just see if you can touch it. You might be able to take hold. You might stay there. You might try to push it back. If the hand and the foot don't meet, then you can have the hand down and have some gentle pushes. And then we're going to bring the leg forward. The hand comes down, resting the knee somewhere on the upper arm, flexing the foot. And then we come out of that, up to semi-sitting position. Here we're bringing the knee and elbow towards each other and then reaching away. We're going to do this once again. You can do it exactly like that, or you might choose to lift the hips to do it. Then from here, we're swinging the legs around to the other side. We come down first. We have some touch for the kidney. And then you bring that top leg back. It's either pulses, touching. You might have the foot near the gluteus muscles. You might try to extend away, see what feels good. But then bringing this leg on top of the arm, foot flexed. Release. Then we're sliding up to semi-sitting. From here, we have elbow, knee, bending, extending. We're doing it again, either exactly in that configuration or lifting the hips. You'll need a strong support through the bones here. from this position, coming to find a comfortable finishing position, however you want to be. So your legs could be straight. You could have one bent, one lengthened. Just see what unfolds. Hands to the kidneys. Another rub. Let the sitting bones press down into the earth. Reach up through the spine to the sky, as well as down to the earth. Some circles back. Then just lifting up, dropping down, lifting up, dropping down. One more time. We're going to bring our hands in prayer. We're going to let the thumbs connect with the breastbone. We're going to close our eyes and just tune into whatever sensations are emitting inside us. Tingles, twitches, itches, the rise and fall of breath, the vibration of heartbeat. Some places we may feel heavy, others light. Some places we may feel comfortable, and others less so. Our internal domain that's contained in an external environment that you can hear through your ears. And you can feel through the air on your skin and how it makes you feel. And softly opening the eyes to the world of light, colours, textures and shapes surrounding you. And thank you very much for sharing this journey. So you might be staying here, exploring some more. You may be transitioning to something else. If you're transitioning, it's come to give the outer surface a rub, a brush, stroke. Reacclimatizing to whatever comes next for you. So I would like again to thank you for journeying, braving your bones,